For most of us, having the internet has become an absolute necessity, whether it's just picking up emails or maybe working while you're on vacation or maybe even watching TV through the internet. Either way, to a lot of us, it can be a deal breaker if a place has got bad internet or if we've got no mobile phone signal. Then that can be the difference between us going there or not going there. Especially maybe if we're travelling with younger ones. They do tend to like to be connected a lot of the time. But anyway, we're not here to discuss the rights and wrongs of having the internet. What we are here to do is to showcase a particular product which has been sent to me to do tests and reviews on. And this is the Maxview Roam system. Now, I've had it for a few weeks now, and what I'd like to do is first of all show you how I fitted it into my motorhome, and then I'd like to do some in the field testing and show you basically how it works and also compare it to probably the system that most of us would be using anyway, which is simply to tether to our mobile phone. So there's basically going to be two videos. There's going to be this video, and then there's going to be a follow-up video which will really cover off my uses over the next month or so, and hopefully that way it will give you a really good idea whether it's a viable option for you. So first of all, we're going to jump in to looking at the product, unboxing, and also seeing how we fit it into the motorhome. So let's get on with it. Now, first of all, it's important to remember that when you're in the middle of nowhere, then the signal might not be very good. In actual fact, it might be non-existent. So there's only really a couple of options for this. You can either maybe subscribe to a Wi-Fi deal that the site has. Maybe if it's a bigger campsite, you may find that they have chargeable Wi-Fi. Again, you may find that if it's in the middle of nowhere, then even the internet connection speeds via broadband, via DSL, might not be very fast either. The other option, if there's limited mobile phone connection speed, is satellite. Now, satellite, number one, is never going to be very fast, and number two, is never going to be very cheap. However, if this is critical that you have internet connectivity everywhere, then probably your best bet ultimately is to go for some kind of satellite connectivity. I'm not going to talk about that because I think that is very, very niche, and I think it will have a limited audience. So what I'm going to be talking about today is using mobile phone technology to get internet into your van. Now, you more than likely are aware that most mobile phones these days have the ability to create what's called a hotspot. And literally a hotspot is taking that 3G or 4G or even 5G mobile phone signal and then converting it in your phone to Wi-Fi. Okay, it does all this in the background. You don't need to understand how it does it. All you need to understand is by turning on your hotspot, then what it's doing is it's creating your own little Wi-Fi cell inside and around your van. And it can be very, very safe and secure. You can set up your own passwords and all that kind of stuff. So that's probably the very, very simplest way to do it. I'm not going to talk you through how to do it because depending on what phone you've got, it's different. But suffice to say, if you've got a modern smartphone, for instance, like this, then you probably have got the ability to set up a hotspot. Look at your instructions. Okay, so the first thing to take into account is your data allowances, because clearly if you're sat in your van watching Netflix, then you're going to be streaming data across the 4G network. And depending on the kind of package that you've got with your SIM, it may be that that could cost you more money. There are all sort of deals out there that you can find on the internet, and you can simply Google best mobile phone SIM contracts or best data packages, or however you want to find it. There's loads of information on the internet, so I'm not going to bore you or waste your time telling you about all those. However, there are different packages available, so you can go from a very, very modest package that might give you enough of a data allowance for what you need, but not cost you a lot of money. The data allowance that I've got, for instance, because I only really need it when we have no other choice. So I have around about 4 gigabytes of data per month, and I think it costs me £5. Okay, so that's not a lot of money to pay. However, there are packages out there that will give you unlimited data. Okay, you can have as much as you need, and those will cost you somewhere in the region of £20 a month, and you can get it cheaper if you sign up for 12 months. Me, I only sign up on a month by month basis, so when I'm not using the van in the winter, I cancel the package and then take it out again in the summer. It suits me. Okay, so we've covered off the data packages, so what about the alternatives to creating a Wi-Fi hotspot on your phone? So why would we not want to create a hotspot? Surely if we've already got the phone and we can use our existing data plan, why would we not want to do that? Because you can tether your iPad, you can tether your laptop, you can tether your wife's or your husband's phone and their laptop. You know, they have got limitations. I think typically the limitation might be around about 5 devices, but to most people away in their van, 5 would probably be okay. However, number one, if you take your phone to the dustbins with you, or you take it down the beach with you, then anybody left in the van has got no internet. So there's a challenge. Also, another big challenge, and this is the reason why I've looked into this a little bit further, is because if you imagine the average mobile phone, as amazing as it is, it's literally a communications device, and it's got a camera, and it's got a metal housing very, very often, and the aerial is somewhere in here, and it's never going to be a very good aerial. So you have got options. You can buy external aerials, because don't forget, we're sat inside a metal can basically, and you don't need to understand a lot about radio waves and physics to understand that being sat inside a metal can is not a great place to receive radio signals. Okay, so anyway, if we could take this phone and plug an external aerial into it, that would be a lot better. However, there's not very many phones on the market that have external antenna ports. That's the challenge. So the next thing that we look at is something like this. Now, a lot of people call these MiFi devices. It's basically a personal hotspot. It could also be classed as a router as well, because this does the same job as the box that's sat in your house plugged into your broadband. Apart from this has got a SIM, or some of these can have 2 SIMs, and as soon as you turn it on, it will talk to the mobile phone network and create its own little wireless network inside the van, which is exactly the same as your mobile phone does when you do tethering. Okay, so where's the advantage of this? Well, number one, this is a lot more manageable. You've got statistics. You can actually go into the management of this, and you can set passwords, and it can also have a lot more users streaming from it. The other thing is, when I take my phone down the beach, this is still left in the van. So, you know, it's more of a permanent fixture. The great thing about these is they're battery operated. So, you know, literally, I could take this down the beach with me and the wireless LAN would follow me, as long as I've got that 3 or 4 or 5G signal. So yeah, this is great. It's you plug it into the mains and it will charge 12 volts, and it will charge. And yeah, this does a really good job. Now then, some of these, this one included, have the ability to plug an external aerial in. So this becomes even more interesting. So literally we can plug this into the van, we can plug the aerial in, we can put the aerial on the roof, and we'll have a much better signal because we're not wrapped up inside this metal can. So this sounds like it could be the way forward. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to be showing you this, fitting it into the van. And I'm also going to be showing you this, which is an external aerial that will go on the roof. The cables will come through the roof and plug into this device. And then we'll look at the differences in signal from the internal aerial to the external aerial. And then we'll weigh up the viability of having this setup in your van as a kind of permanent internet broadband connection. Moving on from that, we're then going to take that down and we're going to have a look at this. Now, this was sent to me on evaluation by Maxview, so thank you very, very much, Maxview. And we will be doing a full video talking through the installation of this and again comparing the results of this to the MiFi device. So let's just take a quick look, a bit of a sneak preview if you like. Let's have a look at what's in the box. Okay, so first of all, we've got this little box here. Now this is basically the same as this, okay? They do the same job. I would probably say this is a bit more industrial. This is metal, whereas this is plastic. I would say this is the more professional version. This is definitely the sort of thing that you would fit in the van, leave it plugged in all the time and know that you've always got that connection. So this is what we'll call the router. And then we've got loads more stuff in the box, power leads and stuff. But the next and most important part of the system is this. Okay, so this is the aerial. This will go on the roof. So again, we'll have the hole drilled already from the previous install. This will go on the roof. The two leads plug into this box and you can see the similarities. It's basically exactly the same as the previous one, but definitely a lot more professional, let's say that, a lot more designed for the job. So I'll just talk you through what we're going to be doing and tell you a little bit about the products. The two products that we are going to be looking at is the Huawei MiFi device and also the Maxview Roam. We're also going to be installing two different antennas on the roof and we're going to be comparing them. So let's get on with it. Okay, so I'm up on top of the roof and I've just given it a good clean, and I've also just cleaned the roof with T-cut, just a part of the roof where the antenna is going to go, roughly there. The only trouble is, as you can see, I've just created myself another job, which is to clean the whole of the roof with T-cut, but we can do that at a different date. Okay, so I've just put a little pilot hole through the roof just to find the location of where I want it, and it's basically there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a hole through the roof using this spade drill, and we're only going to go through the fiberglass, the outer skin, and then we're going to dig it out with a screwdriver just to ensure that there's no cables or anything like that, and then we're going to go through the inner skin. So that's that, and then what we've got is polystyrene. There we go, and there we are. There is the hole, daylight. Right, okay, so we've got the pointing puck aerial. Now one of the things that you will notice on these particular types of aerials is you've actually got two connectors, and this is to do with polarity. So you can have signals basically horizontal, vertical. Typically mobile phone signals are kind of cross polarized, so it's a good idea to have an antenna that is both vertical and horizontal, and that achieves the goal of having it kind of on a slant. Now what you'll notice is there's actually a self-adhesive pad on here, but because I'm only fitting this temporarily, I'm not going to use the self-adhesive pad. It will be okay for a few days. So when I've tightened it up with the nut on the other side, that's exactly how it will sit, nice and neat. Probably align it just like that so it looks neat. But yeah, so there you go, there's the pointing puck aerial. So one of the things that I didn't realise is it actually comes with two lengths of threaded connector. So because my roof is slightly thicker than maybe some roofs, where I should have done was use this one, but I didn't. And it doesn't really matter because it's really only up there temporarily just for me to test, and then I'll be replacing it with the Maxview one. But yeah, it's, you know, have a look at this. So that's the cable coiled up in the cupboard. That's where the little MiFi box will sit, and yeah, it's a neat enough hole. Okay, so here is the Huawei MiFi device, and you'll see that I've plugged these two pigtails in to convert from these connectors to these connectors. And what you'll see on here is it's on with Vodafone in the UK, and not a great signal. Okay, as I say, we are in a metal box, and literally it's trying to use these as its aerial. So what we'll do now is let's plug these in. Okay. Okay, so there you go, we've just plugged in that, and we've gone from no signal to full signal, maximum signal. That is awesome, and that's with the pointing aerial. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Let's just show you, let's unplug it. Okay, so what have we got now? Okay, so you can see it's just gone from 3G plus with full signal, and now it's just got 0 signal. So there you go. And I'll tell you what, let's also, just as an example, okay, so this is with no additional aerials, this is just the internal aerial. And there you go, so we've got two bars 3G plus versus full scale 3G plus. Okay, so we're just using some solvent, and then what you'll see is there's an arrow, and this arrow faces forwards, so that's going to go on there like that. And the length of this doesn't matter because the thing that goes through here is actually quite long. I'll show you that in a second. And there you go, there's the two tails from the aerial coming through the roof. And then all we do is, this is the bolt, and this goes through and screws onto the other side of the aerial, and that's it. Right, so what we've done is we've stuck this mounting frame to the inside of this cupboard, and we've also attached the two coax cables, and we're going to mount it this way round so that we can see the LED indicators. And there we are, there is the finished install. You can see that the lights are on and the power's on and the aerial's all tied up. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Let's now go to the management part and see what it looks like. On my tablet, I've just done a Wi-Fi search and I've come up with the access point, and I've typed in the username and password, and I'm now connected to it. So one of the things that I'm really impressed with is just the amount of control you've got over it, the information you can get from it. It's just awesome. This is like a real proper router. Well, there you go. I'm really pleased, really impressed with this Maxview system. It's exactly as good as I thought it would be. This is kind of like a professional grade router. The management statistics and information and the flexibility in terms of being able to set it up is, yeah, shocking. It's brilliant. And now just to, you know, go out and use it, and hopefully I'll be really impressed. But I'll be making another video probably in another month, because I'll have had a chance to use it in anger, and yeah, I'll let you know how I get on. But anyway, thanks very much for watching the video. Hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, we've got some more really good videos coming for you soon. So don't forget to subscribe and then tick the little bell, and then you'll get notified of any future releases. But for now, take care, enjoy your motorhome or caravan, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.